reaction to the Malcolm and Vanilla addition?
Love them. We're excited to add the potentially add them early on, and glad everything got worked out with two veterans, experienced guys that will obviously solidify our bench a little bit more. Guys that are better, add to our versatility across the board, and just love who they are as people, as players. Really feel good about our depth.
Grant said your head's already starting to turn on how you utilize Brogdon and some of the new pieces you have here. You got Derek, you got Marcus, you got Malcolm in the backcourt there. How do you see those three complementing each other and filling out the rotations back there?
Yeah, all bring a little bit different game as far as that, but three guys that are very multidimensional, bigger, stronger guards that can do what we like to do, which is switch across the board, guard, defend, make plays for others as well as score. And so, no matter the combination out there, we feel good about our ball handlers, feel good about their differences, but how they complement each other as well. So, the thing we liked about Derek coming aboard was that we didn't lose a lot on either end. I think Malcolm brings a lot of the same stuff, and so we know Marcus does that already. So, I feel really good about those three. They'll play together, spell each other at times, and like we did with Peyton, Grant, whoever it was, Derek at the time, different combinations that can work well together.
It seems that you have a team now where you've added some pieces that when you go small, you're not really going small. They're actually, you go relatively big when you try to go small, if that makes sense. Talk a bit about just having that luxury, that option now to turn to a little bit more so.
Yeah, it's kind of who we've been with Marcus, and down the line when you go with Marcus, Jalen, Jason, 1, 2, 3, pretty big across the the backcourt, and then bringing Derek along, we didn't lose a lot of what Marcus had, and so Malcolm fits right into that. And so, like I said, it adds to what we like to do defensively, be a bigger, more physical team. Not a lot of drop off there. Whether we go, two guards out there at the same time, they can all guard 1 through 4 pretty easily. So another luxury for us. Albeit they have some differences, I think they complement each other very well.
How do you see Danilo fitting into what you guys are doing? Specifically, what's the kind of role that you envision him playing for you guys?
His versatility as well. I mean, he was a 3 most of his career. He's kind of slid into that small ball 4 lately, and he can play some stretch 5 for us with his size and strength. So another guy does a few different things at the 3-4-5 position. Smart veteran guy that you really have to account for. That's the thing with him is guarding him all these years with different teams. He's a guy on the scouting report who pretty much can give you 15 a night. So does it in a different way. Can shoot the ball, really cerebral player, but also can post up and alleviate some of the ISO stuff and we want to just get a basket. So as a kind of a post-up component to us, which we don't always have at times. And so, in the stage of his career, he's accepted that role and he's flourished in it the last few years. And so, just another piece to the puzzle. And like I said, it solidifies our depth. Nights where Rob or Al sit, you can slide into that starting 4 if we decide to go with that, or we can bring another 5 and he'll still remain on the bench. And so, just love what he brings across the board. Person and the player.
What do you think of Will getting his opportunity with the Jazz?
Love it. I'm, obviously bittersweet, sad to see him go, but understood that when I hired him, he was going to be short-lived. He's had the opportunity over the last few years, and so, we did some good things this year. He got some exposure, and then, what I told him coming along was the 2 years me leaving San Antonio, what it did for me, and I think he's experienced some of that this year in Boston, and he's got to grow as a coach, and probably helped him throughout this process.
And how do you anticipate just kind of filling that spot? And you mentioned in the past maybe trying to fill from within. What are you looking at in terms of that?
Yeah, we are going to elevate Joe Mazzulla to the front of the bench, and then we'll take a look at some of our younger guys to fill out the 4, 5, 6 spots. And so, as I did mention, we like to grow from within. That's why we give a lot of our younger guys behind the bench, and not only them, but player enhancement guys, a lot of opportunity to work with guys and grow a voice and work on their craft throughout the season, so we can continue to push guys out. And Joe's name is out there, and I'm sure Dame and Ben will all start to get looks eventually, and just want to continue to grow from within and have different ideas. But whoever we do decide to bring up, someone we trust, Evan Brad's is going with Will Hardy, but we have some good candidates within the house as well.
How do you prep knowing that a lot of times, especially when your team is on a national platform, your coaches are going to have eyes on them as well, and kind of have to build your personal platform in a sense?
Yeah, I've been through it since Bud and Brett my first year, both had the luck of Atlanta and Philly. I had my looks throughout the years, and successful organizations, get to a certain level, will draw that attention. And so, like I said, with Will, hope that I got another year or so, but happy for his opportunity, but knew that coming in it was going to be short-lived and get his opportunity. So that's why we want to give them responsibility, help them grow. It's kind of what Pop did with us in San Antonio to be ready for our opportunity. So understanding that, it's also a blessing to watch those guys get up there. Proud of those guys for the opportunity. So sad to see them go, but happy for the opportunity for them.
Your big thing after the finals was rest. You're seeing Jason, Jalen out here, and I'm sure they're still kind of in that rest mode. But what's kind of the next steps for the core rotation guys to make progress toward next season, this offseason?
Yeah, continue to grow with what we've done this year. I think you saw it grow throughout the season, but 1 year under the belt and getting to where we did, we got better as the season went. We saw a lot of progress throughout the season. So more of that, as I mentioned, everything's implemented now. They know who I am. We know who they are. We've had some additions, but really, I told the group, Malcolm and Danilo being added is great for our depth, but growth is going to have to come from you guys, the starting five. And so with those guys, they know that. We have made some strides this year, but we can kind of hit the ground running next year due to what we did this year and them understanding what we want them to be. And I think they did a tremendous job with that this year, but they can still take steps for sure.
Last two questions.
Well, Danilo had some offers that could have been potentially more lucrative than coming to Boston. What does it say about this team's culture and what you guys are building, where guys are willing to take less money in order to be part of this organization?
Yeah, I think as always, we have a historic franchise, and getting back on that stage, winning and success, attracts others. And so we said that from day one, and let alone the young core group we have, talented players that want to play with other good players. And so for us, it was getting them back on that stage. I think we have a long view of what we can be, and I think a big window to really achieve some good things. And so I think other players see that definitely. But there was a need as well. And, relying on some younger guys without the experience in the finals throughout the playoffs, and I think veteran guys see that opportunity there and take advantage of that.
What kind of conversations are you having with Brad now about filling out the rest of the bench? What would you like to see you guys had here to kind of fill things up?
Yeah, we've talked about adding another big, with nights where Al, older, might take a rest night, or, Rob, having another possible starter. We've got obviously Luke Cornett, who's growing throughout the season as well as some of the young guys you see out here. So talking about another big, another possible win. We're just monitoring everything we're doing here, taking a good look at our guys. Obviously Sam has been signed already, and so for us, best available possibly. We always like to add shooting, but another big training for sure.
And just lastly, have you had some time to kind of reflect yourself on the season, the finals? Are you trying to step back and not think about it? What have the past few weeks been like for you, kind of looking back at?
Not a lot of time, honestly. Playing that late, it's a great problem to have, and so you go right into the draft, you go right into free agency, and now summer league. So not a lot of downtime as far as that. Obviously, you just take a look at things already and want to see how you can improve. But the first things first is getting the players here and seeing how we can implement them. And so after this, everybody gets a little bit of a break and start to hunker down and figure out what we want to do with our group.
Thanks.
Thank you.